lot of blue check boys got their walking papers today. Feeling good, feeling great, feeling good. How are you? Welcome into TimeLine T. I am your host, D. Sam D, aka Sam D. Smith Jr. This is a special NBA free agency kickback. Done one for the NFL draft and the NBA draft. I used to do these during the end of the football season. You know what I'm saying? So pull up, come one, come all. We're going to track these transactions together as a community. And we're also going to call out the people that been lying to us for weeks, okay? We kept the receipts. You see, Corey's trying to stir the pot early. You see him trying to stir that pot early. He wants me to say things I ain't supposed to say. All I'm going to say is it's a sad day for a lot of people up in Bristol. A lot of checks got cut. It's not a good feeling. So, salute to those who are still there. Salute to those that are no longer employed and looking for employment. Struggle is real. Buckle up. We're going to be here for a minute. It's going to be a long stream today because we got a lot of transactions to follow up on. There's been even more, I think, lies, but we'll see if those lies actually are truths in about 45 to 50 minutes from now. But we shall start, unfortunately, with some sports media news that has next to nothing to do with NBA free agency, but so much has happened since this morning in regards to this that I could not ignore. So go ahead and let's get into it. The four-letter network cut a lot of people today, and it's an updating list. It's not like they just gave it one flat rate, 10 a.m., all y'all are gone. They've been rolling this out as the day has progressed, and it's just been a lot of updates to this list. So let's jump right into it. A complete list of ESPN shocking. I don't know if shocking is the right word. We've been privy that Disney and, ESPN is owned by Disney. Disney was doing a lot of layoffs and that, ESPN was no stranger to that. But more importantly, these were on-air layoffs, not just people behind the scenes, because those are normally the first people to go. These are now people on air that have been let go. And you start at the top. This seems to be a real trimming the fat of the NBA coverage, and it seems to be getting rid of college basketball coverage. When you look at who they got rid of and where those people were focused on, it seems as though they're trimming the fat in NBA, and they are now trying to. You notice college football, as you'll find out in this list, college football was not touched. SEC Network. They got the college package coming over, the SEC coming over from CBS. They did not touch college football. But college basketball, yeah, we could trim the fat there. NBA, even though we're paying a lot of money to keep that contract, we could still find some places to trim the fat. And it's really scary. I was in this, some of the NFL coverage, some of the Monday Night Football coverage, and just some of the NFL commentators about the paint. So Jeff Van Gundy and Jalen Rose are probably the two biggest names, right? Jeff Van Gundy, who was literally just working the NBA Finals out there in Denver. Literally just working the NBA Finals. And now that three-person booth that we all have become accustomed to in terms of Breen, Mark Jackson, and Van Gundy, now Van Gundy is out. There's a lot of speculation as to who would be in. A lot of people are saying Perk. Who knows? The percolator might have walked his way in there and gotten a gig at the NBA Finals with the number one traveling broadcast team in the NBA. It's a hell of a come up for Perk if it is Perk. But if you see right here on this list, a lot of NBA, a little bit of college basketball, and a lot of Monday Night Football. So it kind of lets you know where the priorities lie. As of right now, based off these layoffs, some people are saying firing. There's a lot of weird language in describing it. To me, it's a layoff. A layoff is a layoff. And some people's contracts are just not going to be renewed as well. So it's a combination of a lot of things. It's some people, their contract's not being renewed. To me, that's not being fired, but some people are calling it that. If the company says, hey, we are going to let you go, depending on how they announce that and depending on if you get a severance or not, that could be either a firing or a layoff. I'm going to assume most of these people are getting some kind of severance. So to me, that means layoff, not firing. So I'll leave that up to y'all to decide what it is. Corey saying football is king. Well, they're trimming from the football. Let's not. They're trimming from the football. College football is king. College football is king. Not NFL, because they're trimming from that too. But they didn't touch the SEC. All right. Everybody else pulling up. That dude, Todd McShay. No, he was their analyst. He was like, but they got two of those. They got Mel Kiper. So basically, they just chose Mel Kiper over Todd McShay. And to keep it a buck with you, Todd McShay wasn't really that great at his job. I'm not here to shade anybody that just got laid off. I'm just saying in terms of what he brings to the table, Todd McShay was thought to be the counterpart, kind of like you have a Friday and Skip. You know, they're supposed to be like that debate piece. Like that didn't really pop off because it was supposed to be Kiper versus McShay in terms of, well, who gets it right on draft night. And it just wasn't there. The personalities didn't mesh. Mel Kiper literally has been there from the beginning. He is, like, in terms of scouting for college prospects coming into the NFL, he is that for that network. Okay, so for him to have been let go today for a McShay, it doesn't make sense because McShay hasn't really separated himself as a personality worth moving on from Mel Kiper. So Kiper hangs on. So we got Jalen Rose. Obviously, as it says here, he's worn a lot of hats at ESPN. College basketball analyst, NBA analyst, Jalen and Jacoby host, and Get Up star. He was on that NBA Countdown show. And again, you know, this show that has been more or less shadow run by Friday Smith, they're making yet another change. Is Perk now just going to be the new Jalen Rose? But an elevated version, because it looks like whoever this person is on Countdown could quite potentially also be in the mix to replace Jeff Van Gundy. I don't know if Perk could do both jobs. Normally, those two jobs aren't synonymous. But JJ Redick could be in this mix. You might get JJ Redick now on Countdown. He does a lot of stuff with Friday on First Take. He pops up on Get Up as well. He does all the ESPN shows. So it wouldn't shock me if JJ Redick is in the mix for either one of these positions. Now, if you're ESPN, who do you give priority to? Do you give it to Stephen A in regards to who do you want to work with on NBA Countdown, Perk or JJ? And then whichever one he chooses, the other one gets to be with Mike Breen and Mark Jackson. I don't know. Max Kellerman, I mean, his days have been numbered ever since, you know, he had that spat with Stephen A about Kaepernick. Like you could literally mark that date of when that happened, when he had that back and forth where it seemed like he was defending Colin Kaepernick's rights as a black man more than Friday Smith. You can pretty much see the decline from that point forward. Like it really just didn't fly. It did not fly. So Max, they worked him a lot. Like they had him doing early morning shows. They had him doing TV shows, midday shows, late shows. So he really earned his bread and they wore him out. They wore him out until he had no more relevant takes. Like that's the thing. Like at some point you run out of noteworthy opinions. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like that's why these dudes have writers. That's why a lot of these dudes have writers, because conjuring up new, unique perspective opinions every single day for hours is very hard. This is like, I'm not even putting myself in that, but as someone that has done weekly podcasts and, you know, goes on ESPN radio every week and stuff like that, yeah, like, yo, that shit is really work, bro, to try to think of something that could be, you know, engaging and thought-provoking and stir the pot or turn up the volume on the conversation. And that's not just easily every day I could just push out content. So a lot of these people have writers. And if you're not choosing to have writers, well, then you're going to have an expiration date on your takes. Like your takes are no longer going to be valid, or people are just going to lose interest in whatever your takes are, because that's just how it goes at some points. So I think Max just might be hot taked out. I don't hear it. The few times I've tried to like tap in and see, I only tap in with Max when it comes to boxing now. So when this Bud and Errol Spence fight pops off later next month, I want to know what Max thinks. But I never cared what Max thought about basketball, football, baseball. I never cared anything he had to say about that, because he never showed me a perspective that was so different or unique like his boxing commentary. So that's kind of what it is. Like, he's a boxing guy, but because he was polarizing with his boxing takes, they tried to spread it over to other sports. And sometimes it worked. To me, most of the time it did not. But I think his time has just run out. I'll tap in with the comments real quick. Abdiel, if it's mostly NBA personalities, then does it imply that ESPN Disney won't try to negotiate to keep the NBA? Oh, no. They're going to keep the NBA. That's not going anywhere. You have to understand who they've brought in. They've made heavy investments in Pat McAfee. They've made heavy investments in Joe Buck and Troy Aikman for the Monday Night Football package. To invest the type of money to procure who they feel is top talent, you're going to have to trim some fat. Okay? So I don't think this is just because they trimmed, Van Gundy and Jalen Rose doesn't mean that they're ignoring NBA. It's just they feel they have better people in-house right now that they can promote rather than extend these two guys' contracts. Which, who knows how much bread they might be getting. They might feel like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Keyshawn, I was really surprised they gave him a radio show. But again, it doesn't take a lot for a former athlete to get put on like that. So Keyshawn never was really interested in that show. Didn't really care for his commentary too much. Todd McShay, like I said, he was supposed to be the guy. See, even here it says as a foil and the partner for Mel Kiper, they really thought they could have like a first take type thing of just draft experts, and it just never popped off because people really didn't care about McShay's opinions like that. So Matt Hasselbeck, Dan Orlovsky has kind of gotten him up out the paint. So again, we have someone in-house that we feel is better than someone that we already have in-house who we might have to extend and pay more money to. Let's not worry about that. Let's get out from underneath it. We got Orlovsky. NFL Live is a great show on ESPN. It's really insightful with who they have with Mina Kimes and Ryan Clark and all of that. So it's a good crew they got. We're going to roll without Matt Hasselbeck. Ashley Brewer, not familiar, but she's apparently a Sports Center anchor. Susie Kolber, mainstay on ESPN and definitely in NFL coverage, as it says here, for decades. She's about the paint. Again, if we got somebody that's less expensive, who we feel can do as equal of a job, if not better, yes, we're gonna go with the younger, cheaper option. Steve Young, same thing. We literally only saw him for Monday Night Football, and to be quite honest, commentary wasn't nothing that special outside of just who he was as a player. Again, another former athlete that his name recognition got him the job, but his commentary didn't keep him the job. And that matters. When you're bringing in these former athletes that have these resumes, having a resume is one thing, but then that second piece, the opinions, the commentary, is their humor, is their personality. That stuff matters. Is it knowledge? Like, are you going to be the former athlete that is a savant that could break it down? Like, you notice they ain't touched Tim Legler. If they would have gotten Tim Legler, we would be airing them out right now. You notice they ain't touched Tim Legler. They ain't stupid. Tim Legler is a savant, former athlete, notable athlete, has a resume, and could break shit down like the best of them. Okay, I worked with him a lot at SiriusXM, NBA radio. He knows his shit. I enjoyed working those shows with him because I knew he knew ball at another level. I learned a lot from Tim Legler. So when he breaks shit down, I'm like, yep, that's Tim. He's him. Okay, he's one of the few people that I'm like, all right, yep, he got it. If he corrects me or he says, no, you got to look at it like this, I'm instantaneously just going to take his word for it. Some of these other cats, I mean, y'all already know how I feel. So anyway, I'll head back to the chat. Abiel, if it would be ill if Skip let bygones be bygones and get J. Rose undisputed. That show wouldn't last. That show wouldn't last because Jalen is not going to take any shit from Skip. And that's part of the job. That's literally the job. And Unc took it as much as he could, pause, until he just had to walk away. So yeah, I guess it would be, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. AB in the house. J. Rose was great for the NBA. Yeah, he was. He was. I mean, look, they trotted him out there just for Ja Morant. They used him up. They used his credibility. They used his clout, you know, with the charter schools out there in the D. They used his platform, you know, to be able to, you know, pacify the audience into believing that Ja Morant is, you know, trying to change things around, and Jalen offered mentorship and all of that. And just a few short months later, he's out of a job. It's fucked up. AB, Jeff was nice too for the NBA. Wasn't? Yeah, he was good. He was good. I think sometimes, again, the ESPN NBA partnership, there's a lot of give and take. Sometimes you have to acquiesce. And I think Van Gundy, just being Van Gundy, he could be a little ornery. Sometimes he could say the things that as a broadcasting partner with a league, you probably shouldn't say, especially on the biggest stage. So I would not be surprised if some of that played into it. You kind of want someone on that A broadcast team who plays ball a little bit more in terms of towing the company line, promoting the league, so on and so forth. Sometimes Van Gundy would get in his little moods and he would say some stuff that was valid, but you shouldn't say it if you're broadcasting on the NBA finals. Like, it's just some things you can't really say in that spot. But, you know, hey, he got FU money because you don't talk that type of talk if you don't have FU money. Abiel. Showtime going to pick Max up ASAP. I mean, I think he pops in on their boxing stuff still from time to time, I thought. I could be wrong on that. AB, Max was a beast in boxing. Yeah, he still is. Yeah, he still is. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm only checking for him in that. So if he's still doing that, then all right, I'm with it. I'm with it. He could open up YouTube right now and just start going crazy with the boxing, and he would do numbers. The problem is, once you've gotten that taste of, oh, I can talk about all sports, well, maybe Max should niche down a little bit and go from all sports where maybe he can know basketball, maybe he can know football, but we're not really getting anything different from him than we could get from anywhere else. But if he just locks in on boxing, especially the boxing matchups have been a lot better over the last year or so. I'm not saying boxing is back. Boxing has never gone anywhere. When there's a big fight, it's a huge deal. Just like we got with, Errol Spence and Bud Crawford later next month. But if Max taps in right now and just goes hardcore boxing with his name credibility, that shit could do numbers, bro. He could be on some McAfee shit. It just ride out on here, on these YouTube streams. He can leverage that into a deal from one of these many, sports book networks and just ride out. Ride out. So you see some of the other names here. LaFonso Ellis, former Notre Dame star and also star from the Denver Nuggets in the league. Again, he was part of the ESPN college basketball, and they trimmed that. So, Some of the radio guys, Jason Fitz, he was part of a show with Fitz and Harry Douglas. So he was let go as well. June Lee, I'm not familiar, but apparently he's a baseball writer and the host for Baseball Tonight. Jordan Cornette, again, another college basketball analyst and host, predominantly on the ACC network. He's up out of there. And here is the only college football impact. David Pollack, longtime member of ESPN signature shows College Game Day, is also up out of there. But you have to understand, they just gave a humongous bag to McAfee. So they have his replacement right there in McAfee. McAfee's not just going to be doing his show. He's going to be doing all types of content. He's been doing Game Day, popping in for the last couple of years now. Now, this here to me says you're going to get Pat McAfee every Saturday on College Game Day. So that's where I'm at with it. It's a lot going on, but a lot of turmoil, a lot of turnover at ESPN. It's very unfortunate. You never want to see people lose their jobs. Here's the thing, though, right? It's a lot of on-air personalities that got laid off today, but low-key, there's been tons of people behind the scenes over the last year or so, maybe 2 years, that have also been getting laid off, and we don't know their names. They're not getting the sympathy of on-air people, and I get it. I understand that there's a reason why people are on air. You get to know them. You know their names, their face, all that stuff. You might follow them on social media. I get it. But as much as everyone is going crazy over these about 20 or so names, what they said is up to 20 names, there's a whole lot more that's been laid off prior to this. So we want to give them some of the same grace that we're giving these on-air people. If you know any of those people, give them that same grace. Abdiel. It's mad videos on YouTube of professional cell phone footage of random channels asking Max a question about boxing and he just goes in. That's dope. I had no idea. That's pretty dope then. Like, I'm telling you, like Max, if he plays, I think a lot of people are afraid to play the independent game. And I feel Max Kellerman, he had a name before ESPN. And that's important, right? Having a name before, like some people, if your whole credibility was built just off ESPN, it's very hard to slide somewhere else and keep that same momentum. But if you had a name before you got to the big leagues in the ESPN, you can still keep that same name and carry that same clout with you post ESPN. So I think Max should strike out on his own, do something independent. You know, there's a lot of, look, Unc ain't stupid. Unc walked away from a network deal on cable television for allegedly for a sports book streaming deal. And he still has his podcast and his video stuff here on YouTube, and he's doing numbers. So, I think it's going to be a thing where it's going to be a nice soft landing spot for Max if he just says, fuck it, I got FU money from all them years working hard for ESPN. Now I can reinvest that bread into my own vehicle. And can't nobody pair me with someone I don't want to work with. Can't nobody move my shows around to all types of different shifts, throwing off my sleep schedule, throwing off my family balance. Can't nobody do that no more. I can just do everything lined up exactly the way I want to do it. I think that'll be super empowering for a really strong boxing savant in Max Kellerman. Alexandra's in the house. How you doing, Alexandra? Long time no here. Appreciate it whenever you could pull up. Oh, that's right. It's Fridays. You said Fridays you could pull up, so I'm glad you could pull up. Thanks for those who are pulling up and tapping in. We are going to be keeping track. It is 5:30, so we're going to be refreshing some feeds here as we get closer and closer to the opening of NBA free agency. So if you could hit that like button, the algorithm likes it, therefore I like it as well. So if you could just hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Alexander, Max Kellerman is one of my favorites. He's one of mine too. When he talks boxing, like, that old school dude, some of y'all youngers might not know, but Bert Sugar, he was one of those old school cats that when he spoke about boxing, he just knew stuff and he knew the history and he could give you little anecdotes and all of that type of stuff, and it was fire. Max Kellerman knows those stories because him and Bert Sugar were very close. So Max Kellerman has like an encyclopedia. He's got like 1 million documentaries just in his brain of just hardcore boxing shit, stories that were never thought to be told. I think now's the time to air that shit out. For real. Like if he does a documentary, like if he does like a Last Dance type shit on like Ali or Tyson or any of those types of cats, I am all in. That's how much confidence and faith I have in Max Kellerman and his ability to really discuss the sweet science. Alexandra, I'm good. Had surgery. Okay. Hopefully you're good. I'm glad you're recovering. Thank you for pulling up. I always appreciate it whenever you could tap in. Mavs Main, 30 minutes. Support Mavs Main. He does content on NBA as well. Salute to him. Check him out when you have a chance. AB, I remember Bert. Yeah, Bert was an OG. All those old school ESPN Sports Century Johns back in the day, he was in every single one that had anything to do with boxing. Joe Louis, Holyfield, Tyson, Ali, Sonny Liston, Sugar Ray Robinson, all those cats. Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, all those dudes, man. He was all about it. All right, so let's go ahead. If y'all still want to talk about what's going on with ESPN, feel free. But I'm going to slide over, since we are under now 30 minutes to free agency. Let's get into all the tea, okay? Start with NBA Central. We're going to refresh so we get the most pertinent information. Okay, there it is. We can't even leave the ESPN story. Doc Rivers is a potential candidate to replace Jeff Van Gundy. I don't know if I want to hear that voice during the NBA Finals games. I mean, I don't know if I want to hear that voice, bro. I don't know if I want to hear no raspy, Oscar the Grouch type shit on no NBA Finals, bro. Now, not that Van Gundy's voice was any better, but I don't know, bro. Okay, we got some. Is there really beef here? Well, we doing all sports media today. Chuck Barkley roasted Skip Bayless during, because they're doing their golf thing over there. I think it's Steph and Clay versus who is on the football side? Oh yeah, Mahomes and Kelsey versus the Splash Brothers. So that's a TNT vehicle. So I guess they got Chuck on there. Apparently he aired out Skip Bayless, who he's been airing out for years, and apparently Skip fired back. Your man's Drip Bayless still chuckling over a clown calling me an idiot. And this is what happens when you don't have writers. Okay? This is what happens when you don't have writers. All right. This is interesting. The Sixers are not going to extend Tyrese Maxey. Want to know why? Because they might trade him. Now, yesterday on the stream, once the Harden stuff broke down and I was looking at the salaries, I was saying, you know what? The Maxey contract looked like it could be moved. I said, nah, they wouldn't. I don't know why they would do that, but it's looking like a real thing here. Maxey might be out here. Patrick pulling up was good. Patrick, thank you, bruh. He was in here yesterday when shit was popping off with the beard stuff. He was up in here. Patrick Dobbins setting himself up for TV work. Yeah, he has. He definitely has. I mean, every coach that gets fired, they try to put that stuff out there. You know that. AB, and what you saying? Nah, I think so, man. I think if Max really sticks to it, man, he could do it. He could do it. Magic Man, what's good, man? What's good, bro? All right, we out here. Tyrese Maxey not getting extended because he might be in this deal. So, again, we're trying to navigate if the Sixers are really going to try to trade Tobias and the Beard to wherever, right? But now if you're trying to trade Maxey, That's definitely not the same deal, right? So is Embiid going to have a whole new cast? If the Sixers go ahead and do Tobias Harris and Harden for whatever from whomever, and in another deal, go out there and flip Maxey, what type of supporting cast is Joel Embiid going to have? And if Embiid's not happy with that supporting cast, you thinking what I'm thinking? Oh, Magic Man's trying to stir shit up. Come on, Magic Man. You trying to stir shit up? You trying to stir shit up. It's you and Dre. You and Dre come in here and you just give me the hot takes of what are your thoughts on the LeBron allegations of cheating. I'm going to play dumb, Magic Man. What allegations are you speaking about, Magic Man? Because I, the Sam D, have no knowledge whatsoever of any LeBron Ramon James cheating allegations. So enlighten me. What cheating allegations are you speaking of, Magic Man, on YouTube on June 30th at 5:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? There's optimism that a 4-year, $120 million contract would be enough to keep Fred VanVleet in Toronto. I mean, I hope so. I mean, if that ain't enough, I mean, Houston is already allegedly, and this is where if I'm VanVleet, I still leave. Because remember, the taxes are different in Canada. Taxes are bad in Canada. So that 4-year 120 looks nice on paper. I'm not going to say he ain't going to see a lot of it. It's just not going to hit like you think it's going to hit. Whereas if he takes that 2 years, $80 million in Houston with no state tax, that's quite the come up for Fred VanVleet. All right, so let's go ahead and lock in. The Suns will let Jock Landale enter unrestricted free agency. Okay, well, the best center that they had on the play. I can't even. I see you, Magic Man. I see you. 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 I get it. Right. Allegedly. Right. I allegedly don't know anything about any cheating allegations. Kyrie, I'm assuming that means expected to meet LA. Yeah, Kyrie's going to meet with anyone who will allow him into there. Kyrie doesn't have a lot of leverage in this offseason. So yeah, Kyrie's going to meet with whomsoever. AB, we really don't care about what James does offseason. I'm not going to go that far. I think there are some people who are interested. It's just there's a thing called a cease and desist. There's a thing called what Cardi B did to that shorty right here on YouTube. I'm good. I'm good. I know he uses a hyperbaric chamber. He spends $1 million on his body in the offseason. LeBron will be ripe and ready to go next year. No alleged. LeBron will be healthy next year. All right, the Cavs are gearing up to potentially land George Niang and Max Strus. That means nothing. All right, where were we? And like I said, I asked y'all if y'all were thinking what I was thinking. And here we go. Joel Embiid has been mentioned around the league circles as New York, and that means Knicks, as a Knicks tape, as New York's ideal trade candidate if he ever demands out. Quote from Stephen Bondy, New York Daily News. If Harden is out, what does that mean for the Sixers contending timeline and Joel Embiid in particular? Embiid, the league's reigning MVP, has been mentioned around league circles as New York's ideal trade candidate if he ever demands out. Bruh, again, we went over this yesterday, but let me just go ahead and pull up Spot Track. Because I don't know why people keep putting these Knicks in here to get all these players. Unless they want to give up all them picks, they have nothing that a real good team that's trying to win would want. And knowing, Daryl Morey, what does he see on the Knicks roster that will make him think he wants all of that? Like, what of this Knicks roster would he really want for Joel Embiid? Okay, you're going to get a bunch of first-round picks. Cool. What else? RJ? I'm going to assume Fournier, because Fournier's thrown in every trade machine deal I see on the internet. Fournier's thrown in there. Fournier, RJ, maybe you throw in Obi, and then a whole shit ton of picks. I don't know, man. Mavs, man. When Kyrie comes back to Dallas, I'm prepared to laugh at Laker fans. Yeah, they really think. I mean, dog, there was a report, and I think Patrick sent it to me on the Elon app. Yeah. The Lake Show might have to go back and go get D'Lo. Like, that's how bad it might be, because if Kyrie stays in Dallas, the beard allegedly is going to the Clippers. Maybe I'm still going to throw out that Phoenix angle that I talked about, which is in the video that is live on this channel right now. A little clip from yesterday. After you watch this, go back and watch that, please. Help your boy out. But outside of any of that stuff, like, there's no point guards for the Lake Show. The Lakers need an upgrade at point guard. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any real help for them available in this market. If VanVleet either stays in Toronto or goes to Houston, if Kyrie stays in Dallas, or if the Harden thing to LA happens, maybe he tries to spin the block with KD one more again and says, I'll come for the low pause, then there's no real other opportunities. In my opinion, like, there's nowhere else for Kyrie to go. AB, I understand that Cindy people love that. I don't care about that. That's fine. Hey, T Joan. Measure man, who even likes Kyrie anyways? I mean, I think a lot of teams will like Kyrie if his price weren't so crazy. But the fact of the matter is, he's going to want max bread. So Dallas could give him the bread that he wants. So it's just a matter of, is Dallas going to do it? And what other help can they provide? But let's try to navigate a Embiid to the Knicks tape trade. Okay, let's find out how much Embiid is actually making so we can get these numbers, like how we did yesterday with the beard. Okay, Embiid is making 53. Okay, that's a big number. 53 mil. So you're going to do Fournier's 18, RJ Barrett's 26. That's 44. I don't know if that's within the threshold of the trade deal. I think you got to throw in something else. You got to get a little bit closer to that 53. That's where Obi comes in. You throw in Obi, you get to 49. You get to 49. So RJ, Fournier, and Obi for Joel Embiid with a shit ton of picks. If I'm Daryl Morey, I don't know why I would do that. If there's a better deal here amongst this roster, y'all let me know. But from my math, I don't see anything else that works. Unless you no, you can't do that, because they're still gonna, if they trade Maxey, then maybe you bring Quickly in here. You sign and trade Quickly. He wants $25 million a year, by the way. We're coming up on 15 minutes until NBA free agency starts. Thank you for those who have tapped in. Appreciate the contributions. Yeah, I just don't see it for Knicks tape, man. I'm not going to keep worrying about the Knicks. Again, to me, this is the New York media just trying to get their fans hyped that the Knicks organization is trying. All right, we're not going to be concerned with moves that don't really move the needle today. I'm gonna tell y'all that much. I know, we'll see what happens with the streams here and seems in terms of who we can kind of piggyback off of, whether it's Shams or Woj. I know Shams is going to do something with Stadium. We might tap into that, but like this is a nothing move. No one cares. And see, like I just said, the Lakers are trending towards bringing back D'Lo. 2 years, 40 mil. That's nasty work to me. Nasty work. Miami and Monte Morris, that's a nothing move. Dario Saric to sign with the Dubs, that's a nothing move. Strus leaving Miami for Cleveland, nothing move. Bulls still taking calls on Zach LaVine, that's not nothing, but it depends on who they send, where they send Zach LaVine if they decide to move him. Now, there was also a scenario that to me was nasty work of someone speculating that James Harden could be dealt to the Bulls. Again, that's why I cannot wait until 6 p.m. when we can stop with the bullshit. Pun intended. All right, let me hit the chat. It's not worth the drama. You mean Kyrie? Yep. Used to be a big Kyrie stan. I mean, I don't. Kyrie hasn't rubbed me the wrong way to the point where I'm not a fan of his anymore in terms of I like his game. Let's be clear. I'm not a fan of any team or player. But there's no way to enjoy the sport of basketball and not enjoy what Kyrie Irving could do. It's so exhausting being a fan of his. No, he can, look, this is player empowerment. And this is, with this new CBA that CJ McCollum learned greatly at the knee of the point fraud, he went out here and he didn't circumvent the CBA like the point fraud, but he dismantled a bunch of teams and just, allowing the middle class to be bumped up. And this hard cap is a real thing, and it's causing teams to get rid of players and salary dump guys in that middle class. Teams are not willing to pay for the luxury tax and be in that hard cap for guys like John Collins. They're not doing it no more. Magic Man hasn't made a conference final since leaving the Cavs, so he, like his boy KD, hasn't made the mini dance also since leaving the Bay. Okay, so for those who are unhip, Magic Man is very much anti-Kevin Durant, so be wary of some of the stuff you're seeing from Magic Man. He is speaking from a very slanted anti-KD position. Free agency starts at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern. So if you're down there in the boot, right? You're down there in Louisiana. So yeah, 5 o'clock your time. Untamed, what's good, man? You got Porzingis, what's good, man? Now just go get a point guard and y'all good, unless, you want to hand the keys over to your man's Pritchard. Hand the keys to your man's Pritchard. All right, so let's see where we at here. Okay, here we go with some early tea. Draymond Green, the habitual nut hitter, is expected to sign a 4-year, $100 million contract with Golden State. And remember, I was telling y'all about that thing with the Splash Brothers and Mahomes and Kelsey. The habitual nut hitter is also at that event. So that probably should be a sign. If he's hanging out with Steph and Clay at a fucking golf tournament, then that probably means he's staying in the Bay. So the habitual nut hitter, allegedly, according to Mark Stein, 4 years, $100 million. That is, whose money is that? That's Emmanuel Quickly money. Oh shit. Whew. Thank you, Ante. Oh man. Magic Man, Warriors need a point guard. Well, they have a point fraud. I don't know about a point guard, but they have a point fraud. And boom, see? Sharing the brain. AB, I'm waiting to see what my Rockets gonna do. Wow, okay, Rockets. Well, shit. Y'all gonna give Fred VanVleet all that money, right? 40 M's per year for 2 years? Actually, like, if I'm VanVleet, I like that deal more than that 4-year Toronto deal. That 4-year Toronto deal, I'm not taking that if I'm him. She's gonna be Golden State. Magic Man, Stephen Clay, while Mahomes and Kelsey, top duos in the world. Well, Mahomes and Kelsey definitely a top duo. Stephen Clay, if this was 3-4 years ago, maybe there would still be a top duo. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Derek White has shaved the dew. Untamed. Your thoughts? Derek White's new look. Going baldy with it. Derek White Basketball Academy. No comment. Tax write-offs are a great thing. Tax write-offs are a great thing. Let's see what else we got. And there's some stuff about Maxey. Sixers are not expected to sign Therese Maxey to an extension. Jabari Parker back in the league. Summer league for the Bucks. And there's the Kyrie stuff. And I'll just say this, though. Be wary of who's reporting stuff. I'm not going to say this person's name, but I'm going to tell you from personal experience, this person's sourcing is not the most trustworthy. So take that for what it is. But saying this and acting like somebody told you this directly isn't really saying much. We have been told this information for months. Like, he's someone that's considered to be an insider for a big network. So, be careful. Pacers could offer Bruce Brown over $20 million per year. If Bruce Brown were to return to the Nuggets, he'd be eligible for a 4-year, $50 million plus deal, but there's plenty of word in recent days that the Pacers could be the team that slaps a lucrative deal worth over $20 million annually for Brown. Overpaying for Bruce Brown is kind of nasty, bro. The Pacers have a good young core. I don't know why they would overpay for Bruce Brown. Just don't get it. Now, I think this is what it comes down to. Bobby Marks has some good stuff, right? The new CBA requires each team spend 90% of the salary cap, which for this upcoming year is $122.4 million by the first day of the regular season. 90%. Thanks, CJ. 90%. Here are the 5 teams that need to spend in free agency. The Pacers are there. That's why you're hearing a lot of stuff about the Pacers. You saw what the Pistons did earlier with Joe Harris getting traded from the Nets to the Pistons. The Kings have all that money, especially with the draft day trade. The Spurs are going to be there in that mix as well, although I don't know who takes their money. And then you have, AB's Houston Rockets with $50.5 million. They have to spend this money. Okay, so this isn't just a ballpark. This is the money that needs to be had. All right, so we got some more stuff coming here. I see y'all in the chat. Let me go ahead and refresh. I just wanted to give y'all that piece of information because while we see certain teams over and over and over, we got Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is off the board. All right, let me go ahead and get these tabs set up. Give me a sec. Let me go ahead and get my tabs lined up. We got to get the Woj stuff. We got to go get the Sham stuff and have those dudes ready. We might even spin the block on Stadium. Shams. Hopefully Shams isn't making people make bets on any bets. All quiet from Shams. Let's see. All quiet from Woj. Okay. Untamed, who had the Austin Reeves news? See, I could just look it up. Oh yeah, by the way, Joe Buck $75 million and Troy Aikman $92.5 million. Forgot to put that out there for y'all. Austin Reeves. Oh, McMenamin. Okay. Okay, McMenamin is saying the Lakers are prepared to extend a 4-year offer to Austin Reeves. Okay, so are we saying that that's a done deal? They are expected. Okay, now remember, Austin Reeves could get up to 100 mil. So let's, I'm not saying let's go against what McMenamin is saying. Just understand that the deal for the ceiling for Reeves is 100 mil. So if the Lake Show is out here offering him half that, if I'm Reeves, I mean, unless you really want to be a Laker, I don't know if I'm taking that straight up. Man, which team makes the first surprise move? Well, we haven't gotten anything official yet. We're coming up on 3 minutes until everything is open. I'm going to say, look, the Rockets got money to burn. The Rockets are going to be throwing bags around. I think you have, who else is on that list? You know, the Pistons, I think the Pistons are done with that Joe Harris trade earlier in the day. So I'm taking Detroit off this list, but the Pacers got to make a splash. The Kings have to make a splash. And the Spurs will find a way to get somebody on the low and just throw them some money just to like, players are going to get bags from these teams and then they're going to be moved. You have to spend this money to get to the 90% just on the first day of the regular season. That doesn't mean you have to stay at 90%, but just coming into the year, you have to spend 90% of the salary cap. So there's going to be a lot of dudes taking money today and they're going to be flipped by the trade deadline. Just so we're all clear. Okay, let's bounce around. What do we got? Sham's got nothing so far. Magic Man, DCMD, KD facts. Okay, so the Magic Man doesn't want to be known as a KD slanderer. He just speaks KD facts, but he's just seemed to speak only the negative KD facts. So make of that what you will. All love, Magic Man. Ante finally came home, D White. Yeah, nah, he had to, bro. Like that hair, I don't know what more he could have did with it besides twist it. There's Magic Man stirring the pot. Do with that what you will. Magic Man, if I'm raised, I'm looking for 75 for 4 years. Look, man, this dude could get 100 M's. If someone offers me 100 M's, and remember, that would force the Lakers to match. Hey, man, sometimes people got to come on home, bro. Sometimes people got to come on home. All right, so let's see what else we got here. McMenamin's going crazy over here. I guess I'll keep this tab open as well. And so here's the salary cap numbers. It's a lot of math here, but I think the Bobby Marks tweet kind of breaks it down a little bit better. So if you wanted, the salary cap is 136, right? It's 136. So that's why the Bobby Marks tweet, he's saying you got to spend 90% of that, which gets you the number of 122.4, right? So then if you want to hit that tax, 165. If you want to get into that hard cap, 182. So be careful. All right, so we'll keep this rolling. Windhurst thinks the Sixers could add Tyrese Maxey in a potential trade for Dame Lillard. That's the first time I've said his name since Tuesday. I made it a point to not say that man's name Wednesday and yesterday because I was so tired of it. And it is 6 o'clock. Free agency has begun. All right. Where the T at? Let's see. Where's Stadium at? They a little asleep at the gun. What happened to their broadcast? They asleep at the wheel. All right. 6 o'clock. Who's going to jump out that window? Boom. Free agent Draymond Green, the habitual nut hitter, have agreed on a 4-year, $100 million contract to return to the Golden State Warriors. $100 million deal contains a player option in year 4. Habitual nut hitter back to the Warriors. Not really a surprise, but there we go. And good Lord, look at these retweets. Look at these retweets. Just going crazy for your man Shams. All right, Woj, what do you got? What do you got? Marcus Spears. Okay. Marcus Spears. So Woj is giving the credit to Marcus Spears. He's going to let him get that off because Shams beat him to it first. So, all right. All right. So nothing on that yet. Golden State drops a big bag off to the habitual nut hitter. They're going to run it all back. So you will have the point fraud, Wardell, Clay, A. Wiggins, and Draymond, the habitual nut hitter Green, in that starting lineup for the Golden State Warriors. All right. Let's fucking go. I hear you, Magic Man. Let's get to it. Untamed, good for Dre. Yeah, man, it's a good bag, man. 25 mil at that age with what he provides. Being a player that averages a triple single and you get 25 M's a year. AB not fucking with it. AB not fucking with it. Hey, man, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. All right, let's go back to Shams. Shams is outside. Let's see. That's it. All right. That's it so far. Just a habitual nut hitter is locked in. So that means, of course, that deal was signed, still delivered hours ago, if not days ago. But it gets done. 4 years, 100 mil for the habitual nut hitter. Magic Man, not a bad team. I mean, look, y'all know how I feel about the point fraud, right? But in basketball sense, Wardell finally gets a point guard. And I think that's something he has vastly needed in his career. He's needed a closer at other times of his career. But I think the one thing he's really needed is a point guard. Because someone that can shoot with the prowess that he has, imagine if all he had to do was just run off curls and pin downs. Imagine if someone else could drive into the hole, draw the defense, suck the defense in, and then he could just stand around or come off more curls and pin downs and just catch and shoot. Instead of having to dribble, shimmy, step back, side step, hezzy into a simple 30-foot three. Imagine if Steph could just run free, baseline to baseline, dribble handoffs, catch and shoots. So as much as I despise the point fraud, I do think there is an improvement of sense from a basketball standpoint. However, we know how that movie ends. It'll be some fun moments during the regular season, but when it comes down to the playoffs, we know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. It'll be another hamstring. It'll be something else. All right, let's see. Woj got something. I see y'all in the chat. Karis LeVert has agreed to a new 2-year, $32 million contract. That's surprising. That is surprising. Karis LeVert back to Cleveland. That's a little surprising to me. Where's my little NBA on ESPN thing? Okay. Untamed has Vanderbilt back with the Lake Show and Trey Lyles with Sacktown. So that's minimal moves. Appreciate the info. Vandy being back, that to me was a given. Trey Lyles. So that's some of that money Sacramento had to spend. That's some of that money. So they bring their own guy back. They got to get to that 90%. Bruce to Indy. So he's going to take that bag? Bruce Brown's going to take that bag. That was the, what was the numbers there? The 20 mil per year? Is that the first reach of the night? Where is it? Come on, Bruce. There it is. The Pacers could offer Bruce Brown over 20 million per year. Now we got Untamed saying Bruce to Indy. Kobe White, 3 years, 33 million. Yeah, the Bulls. The Bulls are so stupid. I would have never. I don't understand. They should have never drafted him. It's just a bad move. Anywho, let's see. I'm a little disappointed in the stadium. Stadium's supposed to have this whole streaming thing. Let me see. Is it on their actual? Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. There we go. It's on their actual page. Copy that. All right. So we'll lay off of Shams, or we'll just open up another tab for Shams. Okay. So we'll get some of the stuff live and direct, like how we try to do it during the NBA draft. Drew Eubanks has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Phoenix Suns. Okay. Kuzma, 102 for 4. From who? Sacramento? Oh, to stay with the Wizards. Okay. Okay. Kuzma, 4 years, 102 mil. So he gets the habitual nut-hitter money and the Emmanuel Quickley money. Emmanuel Quickley is tentative, but that's the money he wants. So just making sure you got to keep things in perspective. Emmanuel Quickley really thinks he should get habitual nut-hitter money or Cal Kuzma money. All right, so we got Woj here with the bomb of Cal Kuzma, 4 years, 102 million. Again, nothing really shocking right now, unless you want to go the Bruce Brown route or route, depending on how you pronounce it. Bruce Brown getting, what the Untamed say? No numbers yet on Bruce Brown, right? Just that he's agreed in principle to Indy. Let's see, NBA Central, we'll refresh. Bruce Brown, Alex Golden. Okay, signing with the Pacers. So much for Mike Malone. Michael Malone. Out there talking all that talk about Bruce Brown staying. You notice Bruce Brown wasn't he wasn't really popping on that. Good looks, Untamed. Good looks. Everybody got the alerts on. I like it. Everyone got the alerts on. We outside. Okay, and this are the same numbers we were talking about earlier. Well, I don't think Bobby didn't have the Jazz on here. The Jazz on this list? Practical cap space. That's different. Okay. Why is Shams not there? Who are these other cats? That's weird. How are you going to have a free agent special? Maybe because Shams is hard on the phone. He's working the phones. All right, let's see what we got with Shams. Taurean Prince is finalizing a deal with the Lakers. Taurean Prince. Y'all know who we're waiting for. We're waiting for Kyrie, the beard, whether it's a sign and trade or whatever the case may be. Do you think we'll see one of those moves done today? Do you think we'll get Kyrie or James Harden done today? Kobe went from 33 to 40. Yeah, see, that's the thing. People are rushing with the info. And again, it's Kobe White. Like, it's a nothing move. But the Bulls have to spend. So what you're seeing is the new CBA. So whereas in years prior, when free agency kicked off, we had the big names first. All the big names. They got their bag. Everyone else had to wait for the big stars to get their bag. And then the trickle down effect. With this new CBA, it's different now. Because teams have to spend. So that means the mid-tier guys, the middle-class guys, are going to get their bags first because some teams are just trying to make sure they spend the 90% of the salary cap. So when teams do that, it's now going to make them wait on contacting the big stars because they got to make sure they get to this 90% and still fill the whole team, as opposed to just, all right, let's just go out here and, like, if you're Houston, all right, let's go out here and get this Van Vliet thing done, and then we'll figure out the rest later. No. We got to make sure we can fill out a whole roster. So we need to go ahead and make sure we can get a couple of guys for the low, and then we'll spend a block on Van Vliet. This is the new CBA at work right now. All right, we'll go to Woj. Constant refreshing. Keita Bates Jop, 2-year, 5-year deal with the Phoenix Suns. So the Suns are scooping up cheap bodies left and right. So they had free agent Drew Eubanks. And now the Suns go out here and get Keita Bates Jop. Okay? And Woj is saying he has a chance to earn a starting spot. So that means he's starting at the 4. That's the only spot that's open. Because you got, wait, hold up. So then does that mean Book is running point? That must mean Devin Booker is running point. If this information Woj is putting out here that Bates Jop will have a chance to earn a starting forward spot, then that means he's running point. Devin Booker's running point. You got Beal at the 2, KD at the 3, potentially Bates Jop at the 4, and assuming he remains a Sun, Ayton at the 5. So does this give us a key into what Phoenix might do with their lineup next year with Book running point, which he's done before and has played well? Okay, we'll go to Shams. What number Shams had? Shams had 333 for 33. Okay, let's see. We got Stadium up. Shams is working the phones. You see him there. Okay, we'll refresh NBA on ESPN, what they got. Okay. See, again, because, 3 years, 40. Okay, so Woj has 3 years, 40. Shams has 3 years, 33. That's the only discrepancy we have so far. But Karis LeVert, 2 years, 32. I know Mavs Man was asking who's gonna be the one to make the first surprise. This to me is a surprise. I would let LeVert go. He doesn't really fit in Cleveland, in my opinion. He does not really fit. I think they need a more dynamic player at the 3 position. And you see putting his positive numbers up here, career highs in threes and makes and all that stuff. But I don't think that's what Cleveland needs. Cleveland needs someone who could go get a bucket. And LeVert has struggled at times being that guy at this level anyway. Untamed. I mean, D-Book needs to be that distributor for that team because if not, they just names on a piece of paper. I agree with that. I think out of the people on that team, he's the most capable. You're not starting campaign. So, yeah, I agree. I think it has to be D-Book, and he has done it before. I mean, that's why you feel comfortable if you're Phoenix. I think the only person you could flip that for is if they could have legitimately been in the mix for James Harden. And there was some reporting saying that Harden did have some conversations with KD a few weeks ago. But allegedly, the Sixers never reached out to the Suns. Therefore, that's how the Bradley Beal thing became the thing for Phoenix, because allegedly the Sixers never reached out to Phoenix. Make of that what you will. Here's my guy, Tim Legler. Sees the Warriors as contenders with the return of the habitual nut hitter. I mean, it's all good. I won't shade my guy, Tim Legler, for that. I understand. He has a job to do. Damian Lee has agreed to a one-year deal to stay with the Suns. So the Suns are filling out this roster. They are filling out this roster. Okay, apparently Lee is a 2-year deal. Woj is fixing his own mistakes early. Damian Lee is a 2-year deal with a player option. Okay, so basically one and a possible. One and a possible. Let's see, does Shams have anything? Shams Charania had to air him out for what he did on draft day. That's a clip here up on this channel. Oh, that's Pat Garrity. I didn't know that's what Pat Garrity looked like these days. Monte Morris, okay. All right, so they're not, they're breaking down stuff we already know, okay. Okay. Welcome to the new CBA. We're waiting on the big names, the big fish to fly, and they're not flying because all the mid pieces got to get their bags first. So that's kind of where we're at with it. Thank you, CJ McCollum. You have ruined free agency. Taurean Prince has to get his bag before James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Fred VanVleet, so on and so forth. Let's make sure we get Taurean Prince his money. Untamed. Suns just getting the low guys right now. Nah, that's facts. Like, they have to fill out a roster. Like, I checked Spot Track yesterday, breaking down the Harden stuff, and there was literally like 6, 7, no, it was like 8 dudes on that roster on the contract. So, yeah, they're just backfilling this roster. Backfill. Let's go to Woj. Bruce Brown has agreed on a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Pacers. I like that deal for Bruce Brown because it's only 2 years. I like that deal for Bruce Brown. 2 years, 45. So the Pacers, I don't like it for the Pacers, but I like the deal for Bruce Brown. 2 years, $45 million. Because I think, wasn't the Denver could only offer the mid-level, right? 12.5. They could only offer 12.5. And you see, just like the reporting said, so we had some actual factual reporting when they said that the Pacers were willing to go out there and give them over 20, and that's exactly what they do here with the 2-year, $45 million deal. So the Pacers, this is the biggest surprise so far. But again, Bruce Brown's he's not a difference maker. I mean, they got Halliburton. They still got Buddy. They still got Miles Turner. They got my guy, what's Buddy's name? I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. Benedict. They got Benedict. I don't know where he fits in here. Halliburton's your point. We're going to assume Miles Turner, who is now the new John Collins, where every year he's mentioned in trade rumors. But let's assume they don't trade him. Halliburton, Miles Turner, Mathurin, Buddy. So now he takes Buddy's spot. Buddy now is off the bench, although Buddy is another guy that's always rumored to be traded. So maybe you go Halliburton, Mathurin, Bruce Brown. I don't know who their 4 is. Who's their 4? Nesmith? I don't know who their 4 is. They need a 4. Let me see. Who played the most games? Is that who that is? That's their 4? No, he's shooting guard. Nesmith, yeah, he's their 4. A 6'5". Wow, they're a small team. God damn. Yeah, I don't know what Indiana's doing. I mean, but they have to spend. Thanks to CJ McCollum, they have to spend this money. All right. There's the Bruce Brown stuff. I'll leave that up. Where's Woj? There you go. Shams out here. He's talking about Bruce Brown. Okay, well, I guess these meetings are going to be canceled, Shams. I guess these meetings are going to be canceled. I'm told Bruce Brown has meetings with the Knicks, Mavericks, and Pacers. Mavs, man, you could have had Bruce Brown. Knicks, Mavericks, and Pacers. I guess so much for that. Jeremy Grant, 5 years, $160 million. God damn. Jeremy Grant. Well, there you go, Dame. There's your help. There's your help. 5 years, $160 million for Jeremy Grant. God damn. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Mavs, man, I'm good on Bruce Brown. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Miles Bridges. All right, so I think that might be the shocker to me. Jeremy Grant getting this kind of bag, 5 years, 160. So Bruce Brown cashes out. Jeremy Grant cashes out, but stays in Portland. Habitual nut hitter cashes out and stays in Golden State. It's kind of where we're at right now. Let's see. They're talking about Kuzma. We'll move on from that. Oh, you think Jalen Smith is a starting power forward in Indy? Jalen Smith. I saw that name. Wow. It's marked here as a center. Okay, I guess power forward and center. Okay. 31 starts. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'm not gonna pretend. The Pacers are the Pacers. They have to spend money, and they're just throwing money around. But Bruce Brown, he cashes out. Good for him. Clutch having a busy day so far. Habitual nut hitter and Jeremy Grant. See what else we got. NBA Central, what they got. Yep, we got that already. There we go. We got that. Suns out here. They got 4 players so far. Damian Lee, Josh Okogie, Drew Eubanks, and Keita Bates-Diop. There's your guy, James Jones. Okay. Okay, Troy Brown has agreed to a deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Troy Brown. Again, a lot of minor dudes. Jeremy Grant, 20.5 points this past season. Cash is out 5 years, $160 million. So Dame can't complain now, right? Dame can't complain. They spent the bread to put help around him and bringing back Jeremy Grant at a premium price. KP, $60 million 2-year extendo. Latvian world star Porzingis. I'm here for that. If that's who that is, if that's where we're going. Let me get Legion Hoops up. Legion Hoops up is cooking today. Legion Hoops. Sometimes you wonder if all these aggregate places are affiliated together, but Legion Hoops seems to be just a wee step ahead. And there's been some rumors about who actually runs that account, but I won't put my neck out there on these YouTube streets and get myself in trouble. Yep, there we go. Legion Hoops on top of it. Porzingis is signing a 2-year, $60 million extension with the Celtics. There you go for Untamed Music. There's a bag. There's a bag. Now, I wonder if this is a 2 years or one with an option. 1 and 1 or actual 2 years. That will be interesting to me. All right, so now we're going to add Legion Hoops to the order. So we got Shams here. Just checking with Stadium. Now they're talking about it. They're talking about the Celtics. There you go. Let me get a quick little refresh. Okay. I'm like, I know Shams can't be on this broadcast, but I just don't understand why they wouldn't have Shams. Like, put him in a little PIP. Put him in a little box right here, or just showing him working. Anyway, maybe that's just the director in me. Let's see. Legion Hoops is the only one that has the Porzingis stuff, but we'll roll with it for now. We will roll with it for now. Somebody needs to jump out the window and do something. Strus to the Cavs. All right, let me refresh Legion Hoops. They seem to be the ones ahead of everybody. There it is, Max Strus. Yikes. Couldn't be me, bruh. Could it be me? The Cavs out here just throwing money around. Ain't this Seti Osman? Like, don't they have this already in Seti Osman? So they're bringing back LeVert. They add Strus. Now remember, your man's Windhurst was out here saying that there was some really outlandish stuff that the Cavs were trying to do. He can't possibly mean this bullshit, right? Like, he can't mean Max Strus. Like, if signing Max Strus gets this from Windhurst, then, like, fuck is we doing? Mavs main. Kyrie posted Zuckerberg on IG. Okay, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna get any Kyrie stuff today. Then if that's the type of time. If that's the type of time Kyrie is on, if that's where he's at with it, then yeah, I think it's a wrap. It's a wrap for that. All right, let's see. We'll keep this Legion Hoops. Stay on it. Stay above it. And there's the Troy Brown. Troy Brown Jr. was really, well, he goes back to the Timberwolves, right? Wasn't he in that trade? I could be mixing that up. Troy Brown didn't really give the Lakers anything Malik Beasley was so bad he couldn't even supplant him in the starting lineup. So that was hella problematic. All right, what do we got here? Nothing from Woj in a few minutes. Reggie Jackson has agreed to a 2-year, $10.25 million deal with a player option in the second season to return to Denver. So Denver, this is half of what they could have offered Bruce Brown. The most they could have gave Bruce Brown was 12 and change. So they give 5 and change to Reggie Jackson. So who gonna go get the rest of that money from the Nuggets? Bobby Schmurder returns to get another Larry O.B. in Denver. There you go. You see your man's words, your man Shams working hard, and he's got the Reggie Jackson deal out there. Well, this seems to be like remember we had all the drama of KD and all that shit years ago, July 4th weekend in the Hamptons with the Dubs and all of that. Like, it just seems like those days are over. Okay, here's some baseball news. I know Mavs man will be locked in on this. The Kansas City Royals have traded Aroldis Chapman to the Texas Rangers. That's a lot of heat coming down there to Arlington, Mavs man. Untamed. Alexander Walker returned to Minnesota. Okay, so the Timberwolves are spending. That is something that's happening. Ooh, like this. Jason Tatum tweets and deletes. Money time. Love seeing everybody get paid. Why did he delete that? And he's still got that Kobe thing, man. He's still on that cosplay Kobe. Sup at your mans. Untamed. Sup at your mans. Lakers are interested in signing Eric Gordon with their $12.5 million exception. We got Reggie Jackson there. All right, let's see. Mavs, man, I was going to say something about it. Okay. Hey, man, anything could pop off, especially if we're going to run around here and I'm not going to give y'all fake excitement about, Reggie Jackson re-upping with the Nuggets, right? Like, I might switch up the glasses on y'all, but I'm not going to go too crazy out here in terms of all right, yo, Schmurder, Nuggets, huge deal. Nah, that's not. I'll leave that to some 20-year-old here on YouTube that'll try to go viral for doing silly shit like that. But let's see. Untamed. Tay is delusional. Yeah, he is, man. He really is. Cosplay Kobe. 3 for 20 for Javon to the Bulls. Javon Carter. Well, I guess that really clinches that Lonzo ain't playing next year if they're doing that. There it is. Javon Carter signing a 3-year, $20 million deal with the Bulls. Man, CJ McCollum. Carter leaves Bucks to bring Bulls his perimeter toughness. I'm a fan of Javon Carter, but I mean the sales pitch in these tweets is, come on, man. He's a good player, but he's not moving the needle, bro. But this is now CJ McCollum's NBA. All the role plays get paid first, then the stars later. More signings for Phoenix? Who we got? Thought we had that earlier. Didn't we have that with Phoenix earlier? Let's see. Maybe I'm bugging. Could be bugging. It's hard to keep up. That's Bates' job. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so maybe Metu is all right. NBA Central, real slow. Legion Hoops kicking their ass today. All right, NBA on ESPN. Let's see. Anything new? All right, let's see. 6:37. We are over half an hour in to the opening of free agency. We'll see how we're looking around 7 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see how we're looking. If it's starting to slow down, I mean, we're getting a lot of mid names. And it is a Friday. So I'm not trying to keep y'all hostage and not trying to keep myself hostage either. But we'll see how things are looking. We got into a lot of great stuff earlier. We talked about some of the or all of the ESPN unfortunate layoffs. So if you missed any of that, you can spin the block on the live tab of the channel. Let's see. Alexandra popped in for a little bit. That was nice to see. Glad she's doing well. Wishing her continued speedy recovery. Moss Golf to the Lakers. But no, it's a joke. Oh, here's the Metu. Sorry. 1 year deal. It's up. Yep. The Suns are out here just filling out that back half of the roster, man. Just dudes from spots 10 to 15. Let's just get a bunch of warm bodies for 10 to 15. Who wants to share airplane space with Kevin Durant? Who wants to, share a practice facility with Bradley Beal? Come on down here to Phoenix and, you're guaranteed at least a second round entrance. You're at least guaranteed to make it to the second round. Big time, right? Untamed Lakers fan fading at that post. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, people are getting got by fake accounts. That's why I try to keep just a handful of pages open, tabs open, because I'm like, I don't want to just type in random names and I don't know who this person is. And then some people with blue checks actually are people that used to have blue checks, and some people are not. So people just paying Elon for a blue check. So I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to just stick with the people that I got. Damn, things are getting so slow that stadium is out here talking about the rule changes for this upcoming year. The referees have their discretion to reward an opposing team a technical foul if you're caught flopping now. They're going to vote on that. Look at this mid list, bro. This poll question is mad mid. Which player was the best re-signing? Habitual nut hitter, Kuzma, or Jeremy Grant? That's a mid list, bro. Like, when that's the headlines of day one of NBA free agency, we's in trouble, boss. We's in trouble, boss. So let's see. So we're still waiting on Kyrie. Knowing how Kyrie is, probably not getting nothing from him today. The beard, if that truly does involve a trade, that might take some time. Van Vliet. What's Van Vliet waiting on? Like, if Houston trying to be funny with the money, is AB still in here? What's good with Houston? I don't know if AB's still in here, but what the hell's up with Houston? They got the bread. It ain't like they don't got it. Where's the Bobby Marks John? They got the bread. They got to spend $50.5 million. I'll tell you how long you're going to be on for, Sam. I ain't going to hold you, Untamed. I'm trying to figure that out as we go along here because, you know, we've been on for about an hour and a half. We came on around 5 o'clock. I mean, I can go as long as there's shit happening. But when stuff slows down, I'm probably going to bail. So right now we're getting close to 7 o'clock. News is definitely slowing down. So I'm looking at 7 o'clock and I'm going to reassess. So I might just be on until 7. But if stuff starts to pop, like we get some actual names, like some relevant names or some trades, then I'll stay on because then that's shit that's happening. But if nothing's popping off, I might slide up out of here at 7 p.m. Eastern. So for Mavs, man, I know he's down there in the dirty. So I'll be 6 for him. So, and then, you know, if anything crazy happens this weekend, I'll probably pop on for a little bit. So make sure if you are subscribed, turn that bell on for notifications, because if something crazy happens tomorrow, I'm not going to wait till Monday to talk about it. That's the power of having a YouTube channel and having the platform and having equipment and shit like that. I could just pull up over this weekend. So if anything pops off this weekend, I'll definitely jump on. It may not be in this official capacity, timeline, TL, that. I might be out and about moving around. It might be straight from the phone. Like, so, yeah, like if nothing else is popping off, I'll slide out of here at 7 and then just turn the bell on. Turn the bell on and I'll definitely tap in as this weekend goes along. Yep, I see you here, Untamed. Yeah, so let's see. Jarris. Oh, that's right. They got him on draft night. They're going to start Jarris Walker. That's right. They got him in the first round. Now that makes sense. Yeah. Put Buddy on the bench. I forgot they got Jarris Walker because Basketball Reference doesn't update with the draft picks. I forgot that. That's the bad job by me. But Jarris Walker, yep. He's undersized. So, I mean, they still might not have the real size. Let's go ahead and, will they even have Jarris Walker in here yet? Probably not, right? Oh, maybe. Yeah, 6'8". He's undersized. So, I don't know. He's got a lot of habitual nut hitter in him, pause. But I'm not too sure about starting him. But, I mean, it is the Pacers. I mean, what else they got? George Niang has signed. Okay. $3 years. Wow, Cleveland is dropping all the bread. George Niang, 3 years, $26 million. Man. I mean, if this is the outlandish stuff that Windhurst was talking about, this is sus. Like, this is these are middling moves. Strus, bring back Levert, George Niang. So there was reporting saying that they were looking at Strus and Niang and they were going to target them. So they get both of them, Niang and Strus, to the Cavaliers. I don't see that really helping the Cavaliers. It's a warm body. It's a warm body. Okay. Something big. Pause. All right. So I got Untamed and Mavs main. So make sure y'all tap in for Cavs content from Mavs main. He's going to go crazy now that he got Kyrie back in the fold. Kyrie back to Dallas, 3 years, 126. So Shams should be talking about it on here. He's not. They're talking about, oh no, that's okay. Maybe here now? Nothing yet. But all right. So Kyrie back to Dallas. All right. Oh, okay. Pacers are nearing a trade, sending Chris Duarte to the Kings for draft compensation. Okay, that's not that much, but at least we got some trades here. So at least I could turn this button on. Now we got some trades happening. Okay. So Kyrie back to Dallas. So no Phoenix for the low, no Lake Show, as the Lake Show is clearly trying to invest into Austin Reeves. Kyrie, Luka. I felt they made a really good move on draft night with those trades, then still ended up with Lively, who can go there and be what Dwight Powell has never turned out to be. I like it for Dallas. I like it. I mean, they more or less had no choice. Once you gave up what you gave up, you have no choice. So Kyrie and Luka running it back, 3 years, $126 million. Player option in the third season, so 2 guaranteed. So even if it doesn't work out, he could still skate after 2 years. I think it's a good deal for both sides. Mavs main, you let me know. He's the voice of the Mavs here on YouTube. So you let me know. Are you co-signing? Do you wish it was a longer deal? Do you think 2 + 1 is a right setup? What are your thoughts, Mavs man? 27 points. If you add in the Brooklyn years, I don't think he averaged 27 as a Maverick, though, right? I don't. Let's go ahead and check. So Kyrie Irving, we have a big signing. I'll accept that. I'll accept that. So this will probably keep me on past 7. How much past 7? I don't know. Oh, he did average 27 as a Maverick. That's interesting. It's a quiet 27. Okay. Mavs man talking his talk, talking his shit. Untamed, talking to Mavs man. I like it. I have some thoughts, but I'll let Mavs man jump in. But I do have some thoughts. Kyrie, 3-time All-NBA, 8-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year. Got that chip 2016 because the Warriors, the habitual nut-hitter, couldn't stop kicking and touching and caressing LeBron James's nuts. You know, it's quite possible that the habitual nut-hitter has cost the Warriors 3 championships. For sure, at least 2, right? Because he cost them that championship in 2016, right? Then, by beefing with KD, he kind of called KD's bluff it made KD walk away when they probably could have squeezed out one more chip. But now the habitual nut hitter is back. He gets to retire, more than likely, as a Golden State Warrior. Chris Middleton back. Chris Middleton. All right, so we're getting a lot of chalk here. At least we're getting some of the bigger names now. So I guess all the mid-tier guys have signed. Thank you, CJ McCollum. Now some of the bigger guys we're getting Kyrie. We're getting Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton, 3 years, $102 million. That's better than the habitual nut hitter. Better than the habitual nut hitter. Better than Kyle Kuzma in terms of annual salary. $480 for Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl. Joe Ingles with Orlando. Hilarious. Jakob Poeltl. Again, the greatest thing about Jakob Poeltl is that they turned his last name into a Wordle game called Poeltl. And it was great. I haven't played it in a while, but I was locked in for like months. Like people were locked in on Wordle. I was locked in on Poeltl. Wait, Untamed. That can't be. Oh, okay. All right. I was about to go crazy with another name. I was about to go nuts. All right, hang on. Let me refresh because I was about to go crazy, bro. All right, so $480 for Jakob Poeltl. Let's get that from somebody. Shams does not have it. He has the Kyrie stuff. Cool. Woj does not have it yet. Oh, here we go. All right, it took a while to refresh. Okay. There is a player option with this Middleton deal. That's interesting. Does that line up with the length of... Oh, yeah. That lines up. This deal lines up with Drew Holiday's contract. Because Drew Holiday has 2 years left. So he has a 3-year deal with the player option. That player option is year 3. So he has 2 more years guaranteed. So this now will tell you the Bucks window is until the Drew Holiday contract is over. So 2 more years. That also means Giannis watch begins. Okay? So we got Giannis. But the more important thing is his 2 sidekicks, Middleton and Drew Holiday, both their contracts run out potentially in 2 years. Holiday has already said, now it depends if he's still on this type of time in 2 years, but he's already said at the end of his current deal, he's retiring. So that's 2 years. So now you got Chris Middleton on the same timeline. There is a player option, but more than likely, he's going to decline that option in 2 years and try to cash out one last time. And then what does that mean for the Nigerian freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo? Jakob Poeltl, 4-year, $80 million to stay with the Raptors. How does that affect Fred VanVleet, if anything? A deal that also has a player option, so you can already say this is essentially a 3-year deal. 3-year deal. Cam Johnson, as I think I saw here in the chat. Yep. Untamed had it as well. Restricted free agent Cam Johnson has agreed to a 4-year, $108 million deal to stay with the Nets. So, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, locked in. Dame Lillard, your thoughts? Untamed. Bucks need to run it back. Next up, bring back Brock. Yeah, Brooke, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I think that's also a foregone conclusion. But here's the thing. Houston got to spend some money. Houston has to spend money. They have to get to this 90% of the salary cap. They got to spend $50.5 million, and they've been able. I mean, Van Vliet, is he going to try to get all this 50 instead of 2 years 80? He says 2 years 100. Boston Celtics have met with Delano Banton. Your guess is as good as mine, Untamed. I don't have any clue of the young man. Delano Banton. And I watch a lot of basketball, and I don't. Ooh, boy. Delano, okay. He pops up fast. 6'9" point guard? Oh, shit. Second round pick 2 years ago. He can't shoot. He can't shoot, but he's 6'9". I mean, this is pretty wild. I don't know what the Celtics. I mean, look, if the boy Jing is who learned at the hand of the knee of, if he could get that off, then if he can unearth something there, salute, because I don't see it here. He is 6'9" point guard in Boston. They got their own magic. He's from the area, Massachusetts, Granby. Well, he went to school in the area. He's not from there. He's from Toronto. 6'9" point guard. I mean, God do need a point guard, Untamed. All right, what else we got? Coming up on the close of the first hour. Oh boy, god damn. Another NBA ESPN personality bites the dust. Nick Friedel out of ESPN. God damn. That NBA coverage is going to look real different next year. Hey, ESPN, I'm ready. If he wants some new, fresh voices, I'm ready. Some people who actually watch NBA, I'm ready. Untamed Madman going back and forth about Kyrie. Still a great player. He's an interesting individual, but we never get stars, so I'll take it. Okay. Now I respect that. I could tell y'all about Mavs, man. He's loyal. He's loyal, and he's been through the ups and downs of that franchise. So Rockets are playing the waiting game. Maybe they already have the Freddie thing locked down, and Banton is pretty dope. He's a hustler. Okay, so you know more about him than me. Does he play to his height? 6'9". Does he play to his height? Is he actually a point guard? When he shot 25% in the playoffs for the Celtics, I said good riddance when he left. That's fair. That's fair. I'm kind of curious about Delano Banton, a 6'9" point guard from the 6. Can't shoot worth a damn, but 6'9" point guard, you don't need him to shoot, right? Cam Johnson gets $6 more million than Cal Kuzma. Cal Kuzma got 102. Cam Johnson gets 108. Damn, Nick Friedel up out of here. See, even Legion Hoops. Rockets real quiet. Does that mean they're planning something big? All right, let's check in with Shams and them. Oh, he's more of a small forward. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I was hoping maybe because he can't shoot because he's a point guard, but small forward, 6'9", and you can't shoot. I hope you could play defense. Those budget cuts are getting ridiculous. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And this is just the on-air people. They've been trimming behind the scenes for a while before this as well. So it's bad all the way around. It's bad all the way around. But I mean, you know, the one thing I'll say is sometimes it opens up opportunity for new people. So hopefully we'll get some people up there in Bristol that, you know, can provide some new shit. That's the only thing. That's the only silver lining is maybe through these cuts, this will give new people opportunities and we'll get some new personalities and more people that can inform us and also entertain us as well. Because that's what all this shit is. It's information and entertainment. It's like infotainment. Like it's really that. Okay. We have made it past hour 1 of free agency. We have gotten Kyrie in the fold. No word on the beard. No word on Dame Dollar. That's really all we're waiting for, right? Where's that hoops hype list? Porzingis got a bag. Where's that list we had from the earlier in the week? Let's see. Kyrie. Oh, are they updating this as they go along? No, they're not. Okay. I thought Beard was number 1. All right, whatever. Kyrie. He stayed. Van Vliet, no word yet. Middleton stayed. Habitual nut hitter stayed. Jeremy Grant stayed. No word on Brook Lopez. Kuzma stayed. Jakob Poeltl stayed. Are you sensing a theme? D'Lo, no word yet. Austin Reeves, negotiations are ongoing. Cam Johnson stayed. Bruce Brown left. So that's the first person of someone who left. Bruce Brown. No word on Russie. He said he's going to take his time. He's in no rush. Josh Hart, didn't he opt in? He opted in. Christian Wood still out there. We got a Trey Jones signing back to San Antonio, okay? There we go. 2 years, 20 mil. Chucking the rock to Big Vic for 2 years. Rui, I'm assuming there's negotiations ongoing. Dylan Brooks, nothing yet. PJ Washington's restricted, nothing yet. DiVincenzo, nothing yet. Miles Bridges, nothing yet. Gabe Vincent, nothing yet. LeVert stayed. Strus left to go to Cleveland. Nothing on Grant Williams. Nothing on Eric Gordon. Nothing on Oubre. Nothing on Schroeder. So it's the stars are pretty much off the board. Okay. It's really Van Vliet and figuring out what's going to happen with James Harden. That's it. That's all that's left in free agency. James Harden, where does he end up? And Fred VanVleet, will he take the money in Houston or will he stay in Toronto? Most players have stayed where they were. This seems to be a humongous win for the owners. Humongous win for the owners because, player movement and players getting a bag in true free agency is usually a thing, but not this year because teams have to spend, and it's easier to just spend on whoever you have in the fold already rather than just going out and doing like the Suns and just picking up dudes off the street and just throwing them minor bags. So this is your new NBA until the new CBA. Unless you have a surplus of dudes that make too much money and you need to salary dump like the Hawks did with John Collins, most of these teams are going to re-up their own players. Harrison Barnes stayed with the Kings. So it's a, let's see, 7:07. All right, we'll give it another 10 minutes. See if we get anything in these next 10 minutes. If not, I think we've held it down for this first hour. We've gotten some good signings. No huge ones, nothing earth-shattering. The Cavs are spending a lot of money. I'm not sure if I like where they're spending the money. Let me not say I do not like where the Cavaliers are spending their money. If I'm Donovan Mitchell, and there's been a lot of rumors of Donovan Mitchell still trying to find his way to Knicks tape, nothing that the Cavaliers have done in this first hour and change makes me move off that stance if I'm Spider Mitchell. Max Strus ain't going to do it. Karis LeVert ain't going to do it. Nope. That's not going to do it, bruh. Gabe Vincent. Untamed. What do you feel about Gabe Vincent? Would you take him at point? Even though, again, is he really a point or just a small shooting guard? Yeah, we'll give it a 10. We'll go to 7:15. 7:15. So 6:15 Central Time. 5:15 Mountain, and so on and so forth. But I appreciate y'all who have been sticking in, staying in. Pause. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Appreciate y'all for supporting, being interactive in the chat. This is the type of content I love to do, just live reacting to stuff. So whenever we have moments to do this, I'm going to try to pull up and make sure we can have that. I'm in the process of building a Discord community where we can do even more stuff like this. It's not ready yet, but there is a link to it in the in the description and on my YouTube page. If you just want to get locked in ahead of time, I am building it out. I want to build that to be a community where we could do some stuff privately, where we could really watch some shit and break stuff down. So, masquerading as a point guard. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's Gabe Vincent masquerading as a point guard. Yeah. He's not the answer. He's not the answer. Okay, more stuff. That's just Kyrie stuff. A little disappointed in how Stadium is doing this coverage. I mean, they got a lot of viewers in here, though. Good Lord. But see, here's the thing with like watching stuff on the Elon app. Where's the interaction? Like, I would assume there's a chat feature, but why can't I see that? Why do I have to open up the video in the player to open up the chat? Or is there no chat? I don't know. It's just a little nitpicky. He's trying to make this a content viewing like platform. I just think it's a little wonky. It's not really ready yet. They're talking about the Heat. They lose Strus. They waived didn't they waive Lowry? Or was that fake news? I thought they waived Lowry. Or did they just threaten the prospect of waiving Kyle Lowry? Me after an hour fade to say kind of facts though. That's kind of why I'm like, all right, how much longer? All right, we'll go a few more minutes. Everything has really slowed down to a crawl, so I think 7:15 is the right spot to dip on out. The only thing we're waiting for is James Harden, which is most likely going to be a sign and trade or some kind of trade that involves multiple pieces. Van Vliet deciding between Toronto and allegedly Houston with a huge offer on the table with no state income tax. It's a lot going on there. Untamed, there you go. $1 billion in salary. Insane, bro. And truth be told, none of these moves have been impactful towards Larry O'B. $1 billion spent, and there's not been one move to me that like makes me think, oh, now this team is a contender. Like not one move. Not one move. Not one single move out of this $1 billion that's been spent makes me think like, oh, this team is now on the cusp. They're on the brink. Insane. Denver's still the team to beat. Yes, I will say this. Bruce Brown was important for them. Bruce Brown was very important for them. And unless Michael Porter Jr. puts it all together, or at least improves, although we now know they got Brown in the tuck. So maybe Brown gets the minutes of, well, Brown that's spelled Braun. Brown gets the minutes that Bruce Brown left by taking the bag and leaving. So now Brown, that's spelled Braun, now gets more minutes. Sharing the brain, Untamed, sharing the brain. Okay, so Shams is giving some insight to the Kyrie thing, saying that Kyrie decides to go back and he's allowing the Mavericks now to have access to their full mid-level exception. So the Mavs could potentially go get somebody else. Again, there's a lot of names out here floating around. I don't know who that other person might be. I would think they would go for a wing player to offset the loss of, Dorian Finney-Smith in the Kyrie trade. But yeah, it's kind of where we're at. All right. Bro, still a lot of names on that list. Yeah, it's a lot of dudes that just ain't signed yet. So I mean, it's gonna be a lot of action tonight. Definitely through the weekend, through the holiday. Like, so the Bears the last big domino to drop unless there's some huge trades. But yeah, like Reeves, how's that gonna work? Like I would be stunned if he takes that $50 million offer from the Lakers. I'd be stunned because he could dead ass get $100 million. I'ma force somebody to offer me $100 million. Maz, man, we need a wing. Yeah, I agree. I just don't know who that wing is. Let's see. Let's see if we can navigate this. I'll do this and then we'll slide on up out. Let's do small forwards first. Small forwards. Middleton's off to Dylan Brooks. Would you take Dylan Brooks, Mavs main? I like Oubre. Tybal. Watanabe, low key. I like Watanabe a lot. He's polarizing up here in the tri-state. I happen to like Watanabe. He could be a piece. Y'all know how I feel about Cam Reddish. Mavs main. If y'all, I mean, y'all don't even got to give him the 12 mid-level exception. You ain't got to give. You could just, somebody needs to pick up Cam Reddish and just unleash him. He's been ruined by, I won't say Portland didn't ruin him, but certainly Atlanta and New York ruined him. But if you just get out his way and just say, yo, go cook, you will not regret it. You will not. Cam, I don't want him to be a coulda, shoulda, woulda. The worst thing he ever did was go to Duke. He should have never went to Duke. I know why he went to Duke. He should have never went to Duke. He could have been on that Brandon Miller type level to where you just go out there, be a one and done, and you just cook fools for 30-something games. Instead of trying to fit in and be a spot-up shooter, playing off the black hole of R.J. Barrett and the enigma that is Zion Williamson. He needed to go somewhere where he could go be a number one option. If ever a team just allows him to just go cook, whatever, man. Reddish and Grant is who Mavs man. Well, I'll co-sign Reddish. Grant Williams? Yeah, it's not a lot of good wings, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, it's not a lot of good wings. All right, let me do one last check here. Nothing there. Legion Hoops. I mean, imagine somebody is getting paid to do a Joe Ingles Photoshop. That's nasty. And a Javon Carter one. That's nasty. Bruce Brown, all right, notable name. And then Torian Prince, come on, dog. You don't even have a number? Because, I mean, what number is synonymous with Torian Prince? I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Here we go. Free agent still available. There's the list. It's a lot of names here. It's a lot of names here. I like Rui. Mavs, man, if you could, I don't know if the Lakers would ever do it or ever not match, but Rui. Mavs, man, high on Tybal. Tybal shot in at 40% for 3 in Portland, and he locks up. Dylan, I'd be cool with if he acts right. I feel like Cam could start for us next year. I love Cam. I didn't know Tybal shot that well. Let's go ahead and examine that, because I that was his bugaboo in Philly that he couldn't shoot. Yeah, 39%. And it took a decent amount to get a good sample size for a game. Gabe Vincent to the Lakers? Oh, man. All right, so that'll probably end us off then. That's their fucking answer at point guard. Poor D'Lo. The Heat and Cavs are trying to get a third team involved in potentials. Max Strus sign and trade. That's nasty. That's nasty. Gabe Vincent to the Lakers. 3 years, $33 million. Nasty, 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 nasty. LeBron, you can't be serious, bro. D'Angelo Russell, your thoughts? They chose Gabe Vincent over you. Nasty. Nasty, nasty. Untate says he's out. Hey, if you're out, I don't blame you. Salute. Salute. Oh man. I don't see this at all for the Lakers. I don't see the wherewithal. You can't sell me on this move. You can't sell me on this move. Yeah, I don't see the logic here. I don't see the logic in signing Gabe Vincent as a point guard. I mean, we know LeBron's the point guard, but you need someone who can initiate an offense and could take people off their dribble. Vincent showed some of that in this playoff run, but in the regular season, he was not doing that. So you're banking on the fact that playoff Gabe will be forever Gabe. Yeah, that's a huge risk to me. That's a humongous risk. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's silly. It's absolutely silly that they're doing this. I am not a fan. It's funny, they need a big. Now you're right. The Lakers need a lot. They need a point guard. The Lakers need a point guard. Gabe Vincent's not a point guard. See, every time I try to, all right, let me roll up out of here. They come in another fucking move. This man averaged 2.5 assists in the regular season. So again, you're banking that someone who is 9, 3, and 2, shooting 33% from 3, and only 40 from the floor, but went 13 points, 13, 4, and shot 38%. Still only 40. So he can't shoot. He can't shoot. I thought Bron needs to be surrounded by shooters. All right, let's do a quick shot chart breakdown for Gabe Vincent. As my second light burns out, it's all right. It's fine. I'll be sliding up out of here soon. This is a lot of bricks, bro. Look at all these bricks. This is a lot of misses, bro. Like, it's way more red than green, bro. Like, this is bad. What is this? And I believe this includes the playoffs. This includes the playoffs when he was cooking. So imagine if that playoff run didn't happen, how many less greens would be on this page? Bruh. And this is who the Lake Show is handing the keys to? Yo, Bron. Can't be that, bro. Can't be that, bro. Fred VanVleet is believed to be leaning towards returning to Toronto. I see you, Untamed. I think that's a misjudgment. That's a bad misjudgment. I would have took that. So Houston still got money to burn. Houston has to spend $50 million. $50.5 million. Yo, the mid-tier dudes are salivating. No one takes the Houston money. If VanVleet stays in Toronto, do you think Harden changes his mind about Houston? Because allegedly, once Ime Udoka was named head coach, that kind of took all the Beard stuff off the table, allegedly. But if there's no one taking the Houston bread, if you're the Beard, do you run it back? Somebody gonna take this money. Who could be next up to take this? Brooke Lopez might get the Houston money. Brooke Lopez, if he gets Van Vliet money or somewhere close to that, he's gotta take it. Championship be damned. He's gotta take that bread. They have to spend this money. So if Van Vliet ain't gonna take it, it might be Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez has to be like doing handstands. Like, yes, stay your ass in the 6, Van Vliet. Let them bring that 40 M's for 2 years or 40 M's per year for 2 years to me. That's crazy, bro. Brooke Lopez about to get 40 M's a year? I mean, it was crazy when it was Van Vliet, but all right, I'm gonna try to see if we get anything with this Van Vliet stuff. But again, this is Clutch Points app. I don't know if I'm co-signing that. We'll let it rock for now. They are normally just the aggregator site. So I haven't seen Woj or Shams. Yeah, I don't know. They haven't taken it and run with it. All right. We'll go till 7:30. So 2 to 3 more minutes. Babs Bay, does LeBron request to trade or retire? I mean, this is bad, bro. Like, this shot chart is pathetic. This shot chart is pathetic, bro. I mean, these are just bricks throughout the year, bro. April, December, November, January. Like, these are just bricks. This is who you gave all that money for? Nasty. All right, Shams. Give us something on Van Vliet. Give us something on Van Vliet. You can't tell me clutch points. Yeah, we are definitely, it's like stuff is trickling in. I think the biggest news might be Nick Friedel being out at ESPN. Like, that might be the biggest news during this stream. Let's see. All right, let's see how Clutch Points is framing it. Kyrie thanks his camp. Okay. Brett Siegel. I am not familiar with him. National NBA Insider. Well, that's a lot of people calling themselves that these days, but okay. Well, see, I don't understand this. There is growing belief that Fred VanVleet will be returning to the Toronto Raptors. Multiple sources tell this dude. No decision has been made by VanVleet and his camp yet. So he's already telling you in this tweet that all his sources are from the Raptors side. So the Raptors feel Van Vliet. So this is why I'm here, people. I can decipher bullshit like this. All this is saying is that the Raptors think Van Vliet is coming back. His sources are within the Toronto Raptors organization. But okay, we'll let him cook. He gets his name publicized for a day. All right, we got some action because it's 7:31. I'm supposed to be off this, but let's see. On Tam is saying Dennis is out of Lakers plans, so I'm assuming that's Schroeder. Nothing yet on my end. Woj is real quiet. I'm going to go ahead and close Woj. Woj is not tweeting a lot today. We're going to close Woj. I know that that's blasphemous on a stream like this, but Woj ain't giving us anything. NBA on ESPN. I think I might have to close them out too. They're not really giving me nothing. Yeah, they're not giving me nothing. Right now, we're going to roll with Shams, Stadium, NBA Central, and where's Legion? I thought I had Legion up here. I might have closed out Legion by mistake. I'll fix that in a second. We'll get rid of NBA Central for Legion. There we go. Lakers are not expected to bring back Dennis Schroeder. That's not a surprise. Especially when you go give 3 years, 33 to fucking Gabe Vincent. No D'Lo, no Schroeder. Does this limit Austin Reeves? If Austin Reeves would have took that deal, that first reported deal, what was it, 4 for 52? If he would have took that, do you think they even bother with Gabe Vincent? Is this posturing to get Austin Reeves to take that deal? Or maybe even a lesser deal now that they got Gabe Vincent? We'll close out Bobby Marks. We'll close that out. Closing out a lot of pages. Watanabe to the Suns. I told you. KD liked them. That's all that tells you. KD liked them. KD liked him. He was there. I told you. He's nice. He's nice. There it is. Shams got it. Shams is still working. I don't know if Woj is, but Shams is. Watanabe. Watanabe's nice, yo. I like him. Like that's a filler guy where we know KD is going to miss some time this year. We know Bradley Beal's going to miss some time. Watanabe is a guy that can go in there, and I'm not saying he could play like KD, but he can give you some of the same things at a lesser scale, obviously, but he could give you some of the same things. And that's the problem with Phoenix last year is once KD went hurt, they had nobody else on that bench who could do anything worth a damn because they gutted it to get KD. Now you have KD. You're filling out some pieces on this bench with guys that can be role players and guys that can be spot starters. That's important for roster building purposes. So, all right, we are an hour and a half in, 2.5 hours overall. We're in a good space. We'll close out a clutch. We're rolling with Shams right now because Woj wasn't really giving us too much. Yep, you see the breakdown here. Around Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. Suns recruit a big wing pickup in Watanabe. 44.4% three-point shooter. Depth in front court. And a reunion with Durant. Yep. KD gets what KD wants. There it is. that might be my cue, but I'm going to hang on. Where we at now? 35. All right, for real, 5 more minutes. I'm holding out for Van Vliet. But I don't know if Van Vliet is going to make his mind up, because I don't know if I trust the reporting from that alleged NBA insider. Yeah, I like the pickup. I like the pickup as well. I think when you have the lack of depth, when you're trying to fill out the roster, it's not just about just getting a bunch of warm bodies. You want to get some dudes that can actually fill in. Because that was the problem with Phoenix last year. They needed dudes that could fill in and just be competent, and they literally had nobodies coming off that bench. Yeah, that's kind of what it's been boiled down to, is just the Shams and the Legion tabs. We'll keep Stadium up as well, just in case. But yeah. So we're waiting on James Harden. We're waiting on Fred VanVleet. And we're still waiting on Damian Lillard. Those are the 3 names. I don't know if we'll get shit. I didn't think we'd get Kyrie today the way things are moving, but at least we got Kyrie. But we got 3 more names that need to figure out what the hell they want to do. Does VanVleet want to leave the 6? Does the Beard really want to go to the Clippers and, in essence, go home to Cali? And does Dame want to stay or go? Shake Milton leaves Philly for Minnesota. Okay. Role players are eating, boy. Role players are eating. Legion's giving a lineup as if this is like some lineup of death. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? The fuck is this? Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Rui, Braun, and AD. That's nasty. That's nasty. That is nasty. I like Reeves, Rui, Braun, and AD, but that Gabe Vincent shit, you can't convince me on that one, bro. You can't convince me. I refuse. All right, for real, 2 more minutes. Shake Melton with there's Woj doing something. All right, so this is how we're going to do it, right? I'm bouncing in 2 minutes for show. However, when the Beard thing happens or Dame, no matter what happens, I'm pulling up. Or when it happens, I'm pulling up. I'm not pulling up for no Fred VanVleet. Okay, I'll keep it a buck with y'all. I'm not pulling up for no Fred VanVleet over the weekend or July 4th. But if it's the Beard or if it's Dame, I'll pull up. Now, if something else crazy happens between now and then yeah. Carl Anthony Towns gets traded, some shit or whatever. Yeah, I'll pull up. But as of right now, whether it's Dame or the Beard, I'm pulling up. VanVleet, I might just holler at y'all in the community section, or if you want to, follow me on the Elon app on Twitter at TheSamD, which is, other way, over here. Where are we at? Over there. So if you want to do that, we can communicate that way. If not, I will catch y'all. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. I appreciate all of y'all that have been interactive in the chat. All of y'all that have hit the like button. If you haven't hit it already, you can hit it on your way out. I'd greatly appreciate that. And tap in. I put a clip up from yesterday talking about the Beard to the Clippers and what needs to happen. We broke it down in real time. It was really cool. So I chopped that up and put that up as a clip. So check that out if you have a chance. And I will holler at y'all this weekend for sure. You will see me this weekend assuming we get something to happen, whether it's Dame or the Beard, I will catch y'all then. So thank y'all so much for pulling up to the NBA free agency kickback. I'll holler at y'all in a little bit. Peace.